Hey, true believers. So, Spider-Man Remastered having finally come to the PC, and with it being the spooky season and the time to dress up in costumes, I figured it was the perfect time to rank every single suit in Spider-Man Remastered. Um, I haven't played the remastered version before. I mean, I just beat it, so I'm kind of a little late to the party as far as the remastered version goes, but I was really excited because the remastered does have a couple suits you can't get actually in the original, or maybe yeah, just a couple suits. And so yeah, I played through the whole PC edition just so I can make this video, and yeah, I'm excited to do it. It's gonna be a longer video, so sit down, grab your popcorn, grab whatever you like to snack on and hang out. I've kind of test run through this before, and yeah, it took me a bit. So even trying to go quick. So without any further ado, I'm gonna hop right into it. So here we are. We are in Spider-Man Remastered. And how I'm going to do this, because I have the suit display here to the right, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to just work my way down from the first, in the order that the game has them. So yeah, so that's means that the list could slightly tweak as I'm going along, but yeah, because I'm not working off a preset list. I'm just kind of going with how I feel in the moment. So yeah, let's jump on into it. We're going to start here with the PS4 Advanced suit. Oh, there we go. And I thought I could spin Peter. Oh, I can. Fantastic. All right. So yeah, here we go. Oh, that's so weird. All right, I'm going to have to be real careful. All right. So we're going to start with the Advanced suit. I dig the Advanced suit. It's, oof, that is not going to work well. All right, maybe no spinning. I like the Advanced suit. I personally own the Advanced suit. I remember when the E3 trailer came out, I really like this suit. There's not really too much I can say about it. I think the one, downside to this suit is it does have that orangey red shade compared to the classic suit. I kind of thought they would have fixed that in the remaster, and I know there's mods to fix it, but I am ranking the suits as they are without mods. And so, it's a really solid design. I really like it. I think I'm going to give this one a B. I think I'm going to give it a B. Alright. Moving on to the damage suit. I better hit that. I'm not as big of a fan of this suit. In fact, I already know where this suit is going. It's hard to tell in these thumbnails which one the damage suit is supposed to be, but I don't really think it matters too much. But where I'm going to rank this is, and it should come as no surprise to anybody, I'm going to rank this as trash. Because it's not really a suit. It's just, a variant of another suit. So I'm going to rank that as just straight up trash. So moving on, we have the classic proper suit, and I think this is really solid. I really don't have any complaints about this suit. It's a great representation of the character. It has great logos on it. I kind of wish maybe they went with a fatter sort of classic logo with the legs, but overall it's a great suit. So for me, this guy is gonna be a B, coming in just below the Advanced suit. Alright, and on to the Noir suit, which is one of my favorite suits. This version of the Noir suit is sort of like their own original take a little bit. The Noir suit in the comics wildly varies. Each sort of run that he has, the suit's different. Each piece of media that Noir is in, the suit is different. So this is kind of like a hodgepodge of the Shattered Dimensions suit and the comic suit. One thing that Insomniac did do really well with these suits, for most of them, is they're pretty friggin' spot on to their comic counterparts. I toiled over this mask a lot, looking like poring over panels and panels and panels of the original suit from the comics, and this is like dang near identical to it, crazy enough. But like I said, it does take other liberties, like the larger boots, the gun holster at the hip. The vest isn't in the comics either. Neither is this belt. He doesn't have pinstriped pants in the comics either. So there is like a lot of changes. Like I said, this is more like an interpretation of the Shattered Dimensions suit than anything else. Really, almost the only thing pulled from the comics is this mask. Even in the comics, this sweater vest obviously doesn't have the elbow pads, and it's a lot thicker, and it's just straight up black. It's not even gray. But like I said, I really love this. I love this suit a lot. I love their take on this suit a lot. So for me, I think this one is going to have to go. I think this is going to have to go in S tier for me. That might be blasphemous, but I really love the suit, and I love how they decided to adapt it. They just did a great job with it. Moving on, we have the Scarlet Spider suit. This is one of my favorites growing up as a kid. They did a really good job with this one too. I like the different style of shoes, how he has the split toe. That's cool. I love all the different materials they use to kind of break up the monotony of the red. The hoodie's great. They decided to go with the double logo. That it does kind of vary in the comics. Sometimes he only has one, sometimes he has two. It was probably a smart change to make these gray. The lenses are pretty friggin' close. There's not a lot of consistency with his lens style, but this is between fans and I think more recent runs. This is kind of sort of the agreed upon look. Yeah, and they just did a great job taking this suit and sort of elevating it and adapting it into like a modern look that works. I really dig this suit. I've played around with it plenty. I think I'm going to give this guy, when I find him in this massive web of skins, I think I'm going to give him an A. I really like it. There's no real room for improvement. It's just personal preference for this guy. All right, moving on, we have the Mark II, aka the bulletproof suit, is what people sort of in the comic fandom dub this guy. I'm not a huge fan of the bulletproof suit. I think it looks okay. But yeah, I've never been a huge fan of it. So for me, it's not horrible. I'm just not a huge fan of the design. It's just a little busy. It's gonna be a C for me. Moving on to the Secret War suit. So I have stay on that. All right. I have a love-hate sort of relationship with this suit. I've grown to like it over the years, but I used to friggin' hate this suit. I used to think it was just ugly as crap. I don't love the colors that Delato chose, but these are the canon colors that he chose in his original sketch. I do like But like I said, over the years I've warmed up to it. My only gripe with this suit now is that they didn't give it the Delato eyes. They just gave it the generic, like, classic eyes. When Delato has a very distinct eye style that they did use on another suit. Um, so it just, at this point now, I just get pissed off when I see it because they gave the one Delato suit in the game, like, they didn't give it his signature eye style and instead fucking took it and put it in another suit. So, um, yeah, for that and pretty much that alone, it's gonna be a C. If they had given it the iconic eyes, I think for me, I would have preferred it. I just, without those eyes, for me, it just, I don't know, it doesn't work as well with the regular eyes, I guess, in my opinion. That might seem silly, but yeah. So moving on, we have the Stark suit, which they replicated very well in this game. It looks really good. Yeah, this is a solid suit. This is a solid design. The only issue, I guess I could say, is really more of like what the Stark suit ushered in for Spider-Man, which was like creating, every suit pretty much after the Stark suit, as far as like other modern interpretations of the suit, was it made it so that there's all these extra lines and all these panelings and these, if you look at any modern sort of like video game, mobile game interpretation of the classic suit post Civil War, they all look eerily similar to this. Shuttered lenses are sometimes a thing, but it's a lot of like panel lines and a lot of like, segmented like sort of pieces between the red and everything. Always like bigger, bulkier web shooters usually or something. That's really my only gripe with the Stark suit, which isn't the Stark suit's fault. I like it. It's fine. I think compared to other suits, it's not my favorite. Let's see. I'm losing him in the crowd. I'm going to give him a B. It's a solid B. Alright, moving on to the negative zone suit, which they fixed in the remaster, which is nice, because normally in the regular version, these are just straight up white, which isn't correct. For me, I love the regular comic book version of the negative zone suit. So for me, I don't love this. I get it. I just would have preferred, like, since there's no John Romita representation, I would have just preferred it be in John Romita's style, since John Romita is the one who created this suit. So yeah, I would have preferred something with, John Romita Jr.'s, I think it was Jr. Something, in his style, because, yeah, for me, it kind of loses, it just loses something when, yeah. So for me, I'm going to put it as a D. I'm going to put it as a D just because it's inferior to its comic counterpart on sort of every level for me personally. Next we have the Electroproof suit. I love this suit so freaking much. I know some people aren't keen on it, but I love this suit. There's not really much else I can say about it other than I love the design. I love that they even got the eyes right, which is what I was kind of saying before, that typically for a lot of these suits, Insomniac did an incredible job, sometimes with like not a lot to go off of. Recreating the suits, because like whenever I do a suit, I study the the original appearances and the references for hours, and I comb through panel and panel and take screenshots of every single frickin' panel and just really study them. And they continue to surprise me every time I would like try to look at a suit sort of with like scrutiny at what they did catch. And yeah, I'm shocked that they actually went with these big white eyes. I love this suit. I know some people aren't big on it. I was shocked that it was in this game, so that was super exciting for me. I'm gonna give it an A, honestly. And to be honest, I would put it above the Ben Reilly suit. I'm not sort of categorizing every one of these. I'm not gonna get that crazy with it. We'll be here all day. So yeah, moving on to one of my favorites, Spider-Punk suit. Again, they did a great job sort of recreating the suit. If you've looked into Spider-Punk at all and studied his design at all, it wildly, across during the entire Spider-Verse event, this whole design, there is zero consistency, like in pretty much anything. Eye shape, the pattern of this, the bodysuit itself changes, the shoes change, so like the back pattern here even changes. So yeah, this suit is super inconsistent. So while this suit you can argue isn't comic accurate, you could also argue that it is, because like I said, that suit so wildly changes. And now in Spider-Punk's new limited miniseries, they seem to have taken references or taken things from this game, like the studded belt and the studded web shooters, if I'm not mistaken. They added these, and they gave him yellow kicks. So yeah, I really dig this one. I do kind of, I mean, there's things that like, if it were me, I think I would have changed these to the white kicks instead that he has. But I mean, otherwise it's solid. It's a really good suit. They did a really good job with it. I genuinely don't have much complaints. I use it aplenty. I think for me that's gonna be probably A tier. Yeah, I think that's gonna be an A tier for me. Nah, you know what? I'll bump it up to S tier. I think it's a really good suit. All right, moving on, we have the wrestler suit. I don't really have much to say about the wrestler suit, honestly. Jesus. I hate how I have to funnel that through. Yeah, it's solid. It's a fun design. I'm a little surprised it's in here, but it's a goodie. It's a goodie. I would say, less is more for me. I really like it. It's a fun suit. I'm gonna go B, which may shock people, but I am. Next we have the Fear Itself suit. This is another one where they didn't really have much to go off of. This is basically like one variant Doctor Strange cover, and I think it appears in like 3 whole panels during the Fear Itself event. So they had nothing to go off of, and they did a bang up job recreating it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not, I think the only thing maybe they changed was the back logo, but I don't even know if you really see it. And sort of the front, maybe. The front's kind of more, I think this is just their standard logo from the looks of it. But otherwise, it's solid. I know some people don't like the web shooters, but it would have been really weird not to have the web shooters, since they're in the comic. The way that this suit operates is, it's sort of like Mjolnir. These are sort of act as like Mjolnir. When Peter activates these web shooters, the suit appears. It creates the suit. So you can't really have one without the other. without these, this doesn't exist. They're, like I said, they're linked together. So yeah, so that's why these are here, because like I said, without them, this suit doesn't, it won't appear, it won't function. So yeah, I love that suit. I was stunned that they put it in here. Yeah, I dig it, and it's a really fun suit to play at nighttime because it lights up. I think for me, it edges out those suits. All right. Moving on to the big time suit. I really dig the big time suit. I wasn't a huge. I've always kind of liked the big time suit, but I was always more of a fan of the big time suit in blue. But upon playing through this game, this game really made me enjoy the green big time suit. Yeah, and like I said, they did a great job recreating it. And again, because it lights up, it's such a fun suit to wear. So for me, I think the big time suit falls into I think that falls into a B category for me. Alright, so then we have the spider armor, or the ends of the earth suit. It's a solid suit also. I'm not a big armored spider suit guy, but this one is one of the ones I like better. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty cool. I think that's a B for me. I think that's a B. Alright, moving on. Oh, I'm gonna have to restart it. This one. We have the 2099 suit. Air quotes, the black suit. I know some people hate the fact that it's blue. I actually prefer the blue and the red. I think it just makes more sense also with it being a Day of the Dead costume, and the Day of the Dead outfits are always so bright and colorful. I don't think it really makes sense for it to be black and red. But the thing is everybody says, it was supposed to be black, but it was the shading, and even in the comics. I always interpreted the line in the comics, because it's only ever said once that it's black. I always interpreted it that it was such a dark blue that within the dark alleys of like where he's stopping crime and things, it would appear black. And when you play the game under the right lighting conditions, it does appear black. So for me, this suit works. It's for what it is. I think maybe Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions did this better because they gave it sort of a tech look. But they did a really solid job here. I just think maybe it's a little too busy in this game. And like I said, I kind of like it when the colors are a little brighter on it. But to each their own. I think it's still a solid interpretation. I think I would give that an A, because I still do love it, of what they did. Alright, next is the MCU Iron Spider, which they did kind of a piss poor job as far as the colors go. I don't feel like they were ever this gray. For me, what this looks like is that this looks like the Iron Spider suit at the end of Homecoming, but not the one that we see Infinity War and going forward. But when it's sat on display, I feel like I remember seeing it in these shades of color, but not in the films where it's actually used. Either way, I'm not a big fan of this suit. I've never really cared for it. Uh, I think it's fine, but I've never really liked it that much, so it's gonna be a C for me. Next is the Velocity suit. This is another one where I've never really cared for it, to be honest. I think it's fine. It kind of just, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. I think it's alright. I'm not, like I said, a big armored Spidey kind of guy. So I think it's okay. But I'm just not a huge fan of it. I don't know that I would say it's a D, but it's a D, because at least these suits I to a degree like. This suit I would never use it. All right, the all new, all different Spider-Man, or the Spider Armor Mark IV. I love this suit. I think it is great. It is the best spider armor in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, I really think, yeah, they nailed it. Right down to the sort of color. Although there is discrepancies. Some issues, this is more of a blue, but this seems to be going off the first appearance of it, where this was very much a green. I think the only improvement maybe would have been doing more of an Alex Ross style eye. Since I believe Alex is the one. No, maybe Alex. I guess Alex didn't do this, but every time I see this suit, I always think of Alex Ross's cover of it. So I think that would be the only improvement I would make. But I think either way, for me, this suit is going to be, if I can find him. Crazy how everything kind of just gets muddled. That's going to be an S tier for me. I really like that suit. Moving on to Spirit Spider, who I think originally was named Ghost Spider until they changed that name for Spider-Gwen. I think the suit's alright. It's pretty neat. I've never used it. I don't ever have a desire to use it, but I think it's a great inclusion into the game. I'm shocked, once again, that this is in it. It's wild to me. I prefer this Spider-Man's other suit when he was still alive, the Amazing Spider suit, but it's not bad. I would give that a B. I think it's a fine suit. I don't love it, but I think it's cool. Less is more. Maybe I will friggin' play some of it now. Moving on, we have the 2099 white suit. It's garbage. It's pretty much hot garbage. I don't like it. Yeah. This is what happens when you try to reinvent a classic. The more time that goes on, the less I hate it. I will say that, but I still don't like it. Moving on, we have the vintage comic book suit. This is another very easy one for me to place. I consider it trash, because it is literally a filter placed over the classic suit, and it drives me nuts. There's so many comic book artists you could have pulled from, to be represented with this, like Ditko. Like, you could have made this, like a spitting image of like a Ditko suit, and it would have been fucking fantastic. It would have been amazing. But instead, no. They just slapped a filter over a thing, and it's just super lazy and unoriginal, and yeah, it's no. Thank God for mods, because you can now have a Ditko suit in this slot, which makes sense, but you could have chosen anyone. John Romita Sr. would have been a fantastic choice. Yeah, even McFarlane would have been a great choice, but yeah, lazy, unoriginal, hate it. Next we have the Last Stand suit, which is, it's a cool suit. I understand why people love it. It's again, less is more. It's a solid suit. Pretty friggin' spot on to the comics. I think maybe the only liberties is the gloves. I think are just supposed to be a solid color because they're just supposed to be spandex, and of course the eye shape. But otherwise, I mean, it's friggin' it's close. They even have the larger spider on it, the different spiders. This is a solid. It's a solid suit. I like this suit. I have used it plenty. Like I said, I'm a sucker for less is more. And so that's going to put it in A tier for me. Okay, moving on. We don't really need to talk about this suit. It is hot garbage. It's not a suit. It is just, a variant, essentially. Yeah, we're not even going to waste time on it. Moving on to the homemade suit. I really like this suit. At first I was kind of about it. But it has grown on me. Although I will say in the game, not so much. I love it in the film, and I like it when I see it in person from other cosplayers and things. But for some reason, seeing it on this build of Peter just doesn't really work for me. I think it still looks okay, but I don't know. For some reason in this game, it doesn't do it for me. So for that, I'm gonna put it in a C. Moving on to the Anti-Ox suit. This is kind of a neat suit. I don't really have too much to really say about it. I do like that they gave them the Tobey Maguire eyes before the Raimi suit was even in the game. But other than that, it's okay. Don't love it. But I also don't hate it. So I think it's a C for me. Moving on to the dark suit. The suit's solid. I really don't have any sort of notes other than I think in hindsight this pattern here on the mask is a little bit much. I think I would have axed that and then maybe given this like red frames instead of black frames. I don't really like black frames on black masks. For me, it's like just weird. I don't know. I don't like the look of it. So I think those are really the only notes. But otherwise, when I unlocked this suit, I had a great time using it. I really liked it. It's a very deep cut. I didn't even know what the frick this suit was. I knew the mission, and I understood why they chose this suit, and I thought it was a great fun reference to the black suit, especially since the first version of that original black suit had a red spider. So I really liked that. For me, I think the comic still does it infinitely better. So I think it's a B. I think it's still solid in this. I just don't love it. The resilient suit. This is the suit. This suit pisses me off the most because it is literally just them remaking the Secret War suit. It is just their take on the Secret War suit. A lot of the elements carry over. These are literally Delato's lenses. This is literally how he draws his eyes. And forever I will hate this suit for the simple fact that they put the friggin' Delato eyes on this suit, but not the suit he actually designed. So for that, I would say it's trash, but I'm going to give it a D. The lowest D possible. God. It's not a bad design suit, but out of principle. I have warmed up to it. I used to hate that suit outright. I have warmed up to it. But, like I said, out of principle, I will not use this suit. Moving on to Spider UK, one of the few who has like a unique eye shape, which is cool. And I think it's great that they even gave him his little trans-dimensional device. It's solid. They did a solid job on this. I have 0 notes. I really do. I really have 0 notes. I'm gonna say, do I like it more than the B tier? I think I do. I think I'm gonna give that an A. Probably doesn't help that my family is from Europe originally. Alright, moving on, we have the Scarlet Spider 2 suit. Again, I don't really have too much to say about it. I think it's a solid suit. I think they found a good way to adapt it. I think maybe my only sort of gripe would be these red panel lines is a bit much. I think you could have gotten away without doing it or done it with black stitching instead. I think that's really my only gripe with it is some of the paneling is just like, this belt is unnecessary. I think if you had gotten rid of this belt and just had this section, that would have been fine. I don't also love, now in hindsight, this sort of half boot piece. I just think this suit works better without all these frickin' panels. Without all these like additional panels. I think it just takes away from it. Less is more when it comes to suits that are like basically one solid color. Once you start doing stuff like this and you're needing to match red shades, they need to look good together, and it's just, I love the lenses. Those are pretty spot on to the comics. I think this style here, this is what I would have liked to have seen for the dark suit, because that would have been more accurate to the comic, and I think it just would have worked better than what they did for the dark suit. So for me, I think it still looks pretty good, even with the weird lining stuff. I think I'll put it in a C. I think it's okay, but like I said, I think it does suffer because of all the extra additives that really didn't need to be there. Alright, we're blasting through. Moving on to the Mark 1 Spidey armor. This is easily one of my favorites in the game. This has always been one of my favorite suits. I still have my action figure of this suit from the 90s. My only critique would have been making these white, making the lenses white like in the comics. But I don't hate the change. It's just something that I would have done. And maybe adjusting this front logo, maybe. But it works. I think it's solid. Like I said, I the only thing I would have changed is maybe the lenses itself. So for me, I think that's gonna be a solid A tier. I think if there was some other changes to it, well, yeah, I think that's about right. I think if you had changed these white, maybe I would love it more. I don't know. But it's pretty solid. There's a lot of really good suits in the game, though, too, to be fair, that it's competing against. Next, we have the Comic Iron Spider. Again, they did a great job adapting this one. They added a lot of extra detail. Maybe went maybe a little too hard in some places, maybe, but it's solid. It's a really good suit. I think This one... I think even as it is, I think this one's is an A tier for me. Alright, moving on, we have the Spider Clan suit, the manga Spidey suit. I like this suit in theory. I just don't love the look of it in this game on this Peter, because the Spider Clan Peter is a kid, and so when you take it and you kind of translate it literally like this, I just don't think it works. It's pretty accurate to the comics. I know the gloves kind of change in the comics, and I think this backpack may or may not always be there. I haven't read it, but from what I've seen, this is real accurate. It just doesn't work. I don't think it translates well at all. This is, I think, easily probably one of the worst looking suits. The Aaron Eichmann armor. This is a super cool armor. I think this is really neat. Yeah, I've never used it, but this is a striking, and I was really surprised to see them include this suit in the game, because I think it's just a toy design, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I think that's a B. I think it's a cool spider armor. Yeah, I like that suit. Moving on, we have Cyborg Spidey. Again, absolutely shocked that they put this in the game. I love Cyborg Spidey. It's pretty dang friggin' close, right down to these grenades, and even like the way they adapted this portion of the armor. I think the only thing they really changed up was these are traditionally more like a samurai style shoulder pad, but otherwise it's pretty friggin' spot on. I really dig this one. I would say this one's probably a B for me. Moving on to the Into the Spider-Verse suit, which is fun and it looks really good. I think maybe the only thing that kind of got wrong was this shade of blue that they chose is a little too purple, and this again is a little too orangey. These are pretty deep reds and blues in the film, so yeah, that color palette almost screams more 94 series than this one. So I think it's gonna be a C for me. Overall, I like this design. I just I don't know. I've never had a huge compulsion to like use it. All right, moving on to the Raimi suit. This one is gonna get me in trouble with people. I don't like it. I think it looks rough. I think. The Raimi suit is so very intricately designed that if you don't nail every aspect of it, it friggin' falls apart. And like on a technical level, yes, this is pretty accurate, but I think there's so much off with it. For starters, these webs are way too reflective. And depending on the interpretation, depending on which version of the Raimi suit, which this looks like it's the second and the third, given the size of the spider, these web lines are more of like a black color with like a silver sort of top, but then like black on the sides. The lenses, again, should either have like a black frame, and they have like a gradient usually. They're just, yeah. and like the blue. I think this is just a little maybe too dark of blue, maybe. No, maybe that's right for the second and the third film, but yeah, the web lines are definitely off and the lenses are definitely off, and so for me it doesn't work. Also, I think the Raimi suit is a little overrated in general, so that's gonna be a D. I would never use it. Thankfully, there's mods to make it better, but as is, no. Bombastic Bagman is solid. This is a solid redesign of the Bombastic Bagman. I love how they gave it little spider lens like frames. Yeah, solid, great redesign of his suit. I would say I don't know that I I think that's going to be a B for me. Moving on to the Future Foundation suit. I love this suit. I love even the weird bulbous lenses. I think the only correction maybe is with these lenses, I think I maybe would have just gone straight black. I like the shape and I love the texture. That is very accurate to the comic and how it's drawn. I like the additional panel lining stuff or lines that they did. This is one of my favorite suits of all time in general, and I think they nailed it. I was so excited just when they added this. But yeah, I think that'd be my only correction, is maybe just making these a straight black. But otherwise, for me, this suit still ranks as an S. I still think it's one of the best. I know people aren't happy to hear that, but this is easily, even with the silver like sheen of the lenses, is still easily one of my favorites. Moving on to the Far From Home suit, aka the upgraded suit. I think this is fine. It's a good representation of it. I prefer this suit in general over the Stark suit, but I'm gonna put that in B. It's a B tier for me. Going into the stealth suit, I really like the stealth suit. I like it, frankly, more than I should. Probably more than it deserves. But yeah, it's just a solid. It's just really cool. I know some people don't like it. I think they maybe could have done more with it. I think it would have been cool if there was like a shield logo. I don't know if this suit in the film has a shield logo on it, but it's a solid. I dig this suit a lot, to be honest. I really like it. Honestly, it's an A for me. I do really like this suit. It's less is more, like I said sometimes. The amazing suit. The good old TASM 1 suit. I have sort of a love-hate relationship with this suit. I feel like on film it looks fantastic. I feel like everywhere else, though, it is always a little rough. I think they did a great job, though, in this game with it. Honestly, I think it looks better than the Raimi suit in this game. It feels really spot on. Usually with this suit, like I said, if I see it in anything that isn't the film, it looks friggin' rough, in my opinion. Like, it just doesn't translate. But looking at it now, here for like the first time, like really giving a look at it, it's actually friggin' solid. Fuck. I might like it way more than I thought I did. That's gonna be an A. I'm shocked. I am shocked that I am saying that right now, but that's an A. My God. how I've changed my tune on this suit over the years. Jeepers. Yeah. Yeah, I do believe I like... All right. That's an A. All right, moving on to the Arachnid Rider suit. This is kind of rough. I understand the idea, but it kind of also feels like, why wouldn't you just use the Toei Spider-Man? Like, it's so weird to me to do an Arachnid Rider suit because it's Kamen Rider. It's like an interpretation of Kamen Rider, but Kamen Rider essentially exists, unless I'm wrong, came out after the Toei Spider-Man. So it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels weird. It's like, why wouldn't you just use the Toei Spider-Man? It would have made way more sense in my opinion. And I think I think the issue is maybe that the art style, and I think it's a little too over-designed. Some of the Kamen Rider suits get pretty crazy. But yeah, I think maybe it's a little bit much. Yeah. So so for me, this one doesn't really work. So that's a C. I don't hate it in principle. Like there's some cool things going on. I think if you had removed the weird cell shading and made it fit within the realm of the game, that already would have helped it. But as is, yeah, it's a little rough. All right, moving on to this friggin' hot piece of garbage. We're not even gonna go into detail about this one. It is a D, not trash. That's reserved for very specific suits. Yeah, it's rough. This looks like those random like mashup, like computer generated like mashups that people do on Instagram. Like it's bad. It's bad. It's a mess. I don't know how anybody could look at this and be like, that's salt. It's a mess. It's a mess. It looks like, that's a suit. All right, moving on to the hybrid suit. I think this one's all right. I think the only issue with this suit, I think these boots are a little high. Oh, they absolutely are a little high. I don't think they go this high in the film. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they go that high because it's essentially just supposed to be this suit with some tech on it. But like looking at it, when you jump shade, like look at how the shades change. That shouldn't be happening. The suit doesn't do that. The suit is literally this with these armor accents over it. I don't remember it changing this much. So yeah, this is weird, way too tall on those boots. I refuse to believe that it's like this in the film. The shades are definitely off compared to the film. This almost looks like it was designed off of just like promo art or like leaked image art and not like official art. So yeah, that's gonna be a D for me. I don't think it works. I'm now realizing there is a suit missing. I'm not sure why. That's alright though. We'll get it out of the way right now. Trash. We don't need to waste any more time with it. That is weird. I don't know why it's missing though. Unless they changed how you unlock it. But it should still show up in the menu. That's weird. So, I wonder if it's like that on the PS. I didn't even notice. That's... Am I crazy? Huh. How about that? It is absolutely not... Alright. That's okay. Well, no need to focus on that. Alright, and finishing off with the black and gold suit. I know some people are like, this isn't a different suit. It's literally just the other suit inside out. Which I don't... For starters, I don't think this is this suit inside out. I don't. I think this is the inner lining of the suit. Because if we go back to Homecoming, there was an inner lining. And that's what... It looked a lot like this. So I think this is just the inner lining, which would make more sense given the context of the story. So, anyways, though, I really like the black and gold suit. I've warmed up. I liked it since it was revealed. I still really like it. I like this suit a lot. How much do I like it? I think it's probably... I think that's going to be... I think that's an A tier. I really do. Black and gold is just a really cool color scheme. So yeah, I think that's an A. That's gonna be an A for me. And yeah. Give me 1 minute here. Drink some water. So yeah, that's it, everybody. That is my ranking for that is my ranking for Spider-Man Remastered of all the suits. Like I said, I don't know what happened with the ESU suit. If it was like taken out for the PC release, maybe for some reason, I don't know. But either way, it would have ended up in the trash anyways, because it's not a real suit. But yeah, guys, that's my ranking. If you made it through the entire video, thank you. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. How do you rank these suits? What are your S tier suits? I did this, like I said, once before. I did kind of like a trial run, and I feel like my list definitely changed from that trial run to now, for sure. But looking at how everything stacked out, surprisingly, I do think this is right. I feel like I can look back on this list in probably a couple months and still be like, yeah, that's right, actually. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Like I said, this is definitely a longer video. Thanks for sticking it out. If you've watched the entire thing, if you skipped around just to see where things ranked, that's fine too. If you want to see me rank some more suits, whether it be live action or whatever, animated, leave a comment down below. Maybe hit the subscribe button. If you're feeling real devoted, maybe hit that bell icon so you can see when I do another one of these crazy sort of ranking videos. But with that, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, love to hear what you guys think about the suits. What suits do you want to see in the next game? I definitely have some that I'm hoping pop up. And until next time, guys, have a good one, I guess. I don't mean like have a good one. Have a good day, guys.